following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Talkin Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
First down, handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Buried, sacked by Lawrence. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
Here are Mickey Spagnola, Brian Broaddus, Rob Phillips, and Bill Jones.
What's up? Welcome into Talkin Cowboys inside the SWBC Mortgage Studio. I am Rob Phillips, hosting for Bill Jones. As typically on a Wednesday, he's got TV duties.
Joneless Wednesday.
A Joneless Wednesday. The Jones family's in the house, though.
That's right.
Yeah. As always, here at the Star.
Few more floors upstairs.
That's right. Top floor. Brian Broaddus joining us as always.
Hello.
That was Mickey Spagnola interrupting me as usual. We're just,
Hey, we don't want to
right
change,
along here.
We don't want to change too many things.
No, never.
Bill's not here, but we got to keep things going smoothly.
Kent Garrison always keeps us going smoothly with some dynamite drops.
I try.
Spliced in there. The I-45 rivalry. It's almost back.
I like that.
Getting started with the practice week today. Wednesday, Cowboys will be back on the field getting set for the Texans. Sunday night in Houston, we can start breaking that down. We touched on it a little bit on Tuesday, but we can look maybe towards their defense and just how they're going to try to wreck the game for the Dallas offense, coming off a pretty productive game against Detroit. And we can go anywhere. Take your phone calls as well. 888-855-2297 is the number.
Good job last night on your show.
Thanks, you guys too. That was fun.
It was a lot of back and forth. I think we covered a lot of ground there.
On the happy hour.
The happy hour, absolutely. Love the happy hour.
Every Tuesday night at Concrete Cowboy.
Be there for that. What do you think is going to give this team the most problem? Their offense, their quarterback, their receivers, or their defense?
Houston all fired up because they're going to try to win bragging rights in the state.
Yeah.
God.
Which way do you think they go? What's their avenue for success in this thing?
The dudes up front on their defensive line.
You think it's going to come down, Mickey, to your offensive line having to play?
If you can block those guys, although their offense has been pretty potent. They haven't won.
Yeah.
They've racked up a lot of yards.
Kind of reminds me a little of Washington.
A lot of yards.
Back in the day with Cousins, you like, okay, this guy's going to throw for 408, but they're going to lose by 7.
Because he's going to hand you the ball a couple times.
Yeah. This guy will hand you the ball. And I know you want to maybe we could kind of focus.
We can go anywhere.
Or throw for 400 or a total 400 yards and have to go into overtime to win because you blew a 28-10 lead.
Yeah.
So
and they got a gift too. Remember I was telling you about yesterday. They had a fumble
first touchdown, right?
Yeah, one of the first touchdowns they had. The center just thought he was in shotgun and dropped the ball on the 1 yard line. And next thing you know, it's a mad scramble. But
he's lucky he didn't get fined.
No.
You saw that?
No.
They're mad. The Bowles is mad at his. I forgot the player. He scored a touchdown. It had to be a wide receiver, right? And
I don't know the Jets all that well. I'm sorry.
He took the ball and wiped his behind with him because he was doing a commercial for a company that had male wipes.
Mm.
Oh, so he was doing some product placement during the game.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And so Bowles wasn't big on it.
No.
And he got a 15-yard penalty.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Shocking that he would get that for doing that.
Anyway,
strange lady, this NFL. Yeah, there you go. We're off track.
But he was
just
talking
like
about the ball being hiked and there was no one there to get it.
Yeah.
Kind of worry a little bit about first down running here. The Cowboys are really good at it. I know that's something they want to do. I think they're going to have to mix it in this game if you want to get back to offense or defense. But, the Texans are one of the best in the league and not allowing you that. And I wonder if going in, now that what we've seen with Dallas and trying to kind of get things started, the Seattle game, there was a little bit more of a mix of, it wasn't just straight run.
Yep.
Giants game was that way too, a little bit more of balance. I shouldn't say balance, a little bit more passing on first down. I wonder if you go into this game feeling like, you know what, we're going to have to throw the ball a little bit. more on first down than what we normally do.
What is the Texans' run defense on first down looking like?
I just, me, and I know, Mickey, numbers drive you nuts, but I like to look at these things. And I'm not big on numbers. I just like to look at them to see if there's any trends or anything like that. I'm a guy who watch the tape. Either they're going to block you or they're not going to block you, But the Texans are third in the league on third down rush when it comes to they only on first down rush they only give up 3.49. League average is almost 4.5 on first down. So that's something. And in Dallas is one of the best in the league when it comes to their first down runs. They're going to get 4+ yards almost 50% of the time. So something's going to have to give there. And I know Mickey's going to tell me need to stay ahead of the chains and those kinds of things. And he's absolutely right. But I wonder if necessarily you're going to have to mix in this game, that you just can't line up and say, okay, even though this is one of your strengths, do you play to your strength, or do you say, okay, we're going to go a little bit different than what we normally do here to kind of get the ball moving a lot? Like you guys were talking about last night, can't get behind the chains in this game, and
can't do it. Can't have a Carolina repeat.
Yeah, because of the pass rushers.
Yep. I've got the NFL's leading rusher.
Yeah.
All right. Let them stop them before I decide to do something else.
You want to dance with what brung you?
They are 27th against the pass.
Yeah.
So maybe no one's tried to run against them because it's too easy to throw on them.
Yeah.
They've tried. I mean, they're 9th against the run, 94 yards a game. I'm reading the great John McClain's report card down at the Houston Chronicle. They limited the Colts to 41 yards rushing, 2.1 yards a carry.
Yeah, the Colts were just
How many yards passing did they give up?
Let's look at the game book, Mick. I have it right here.
400.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
It's really funny, though.
464 to be exact.
God, we're getting into a bunch of numbers here. And I don't mean to give
okay.
I don't mean to give the fans a bunch of tired head here.
And 4 touchdowns.
But here, this is what's to Mickey's point. For as great as they've been as you think as a pass rushing team, when they blitz you, quarterbacks have a rating of 123. That's 29th in the league. Maybe they don't have to blitz as much, but they do. They like to give you a lot of different looks. The double A gap. They'll walk Tyrann Mathieu up there as a blitzer and stuff like that. So. I think it's to Mickey's point. He's absolutely right. I think you want to run the football. I think you want to try and run the football. But they've had some struggles. I mean, the guy I always seem to look at in this of their struggles is Jonathan Joseph, this cornerback number 24. He seems like the guy that they like to pick on. That because he'll play soft. He really doesn't tackle all that well. And in coverage, he doesn't drive very well. This team has had a history of having some cornerbacks that can play. You remember Abuye that's now in Jacksonville. We'll see him in a couple of weeks. But they have a pretty good history of guys that can play cornerback. But this crew is a little bit suspect. Sharice Wright on the other side, I think, number 43, he's a little bit of a suspect guy. So, and Tyrann Mathieu, God, I love him. He's an LSU kid. But he is really an undisciplined player. I mean, you'd love to have him on your team, but he will drop coverage, and he's one of those guys that plays with really like instinct more than he plays with, okay, I know what you're trying to do. I'm just going to try and jump routes. And
he freelances a lot, kind of like Earl Thomas does.
He Troy Polamalu.
He does.
Yeah.
Those are good names to talk about freelance. Those guys pull it off.
They pull it off.
And this guy can pull it off at times, but he will also put his team in some harm's way. If you remember at Arizona last year, it was Terrence Williams in that game caught a nice route across the field where Tyrann Mathieu tried to jump the route a little bit, and it gave Terrence some separation, and it was a huge completion in that game. So he's capable of either making a play or making a big boneheaded mistake for his team. So, but I'm just trying to think of ways that you're going to have to move the football in this game. And Mickey's point is well taken. If you're going to, you are what you are, but I don't know if we necessarily are going to be able to do that. Is it going to be consistent first down run? Is it going to be, okay, even though the numbers say, yeah, Brian, keep running.
Especially early in the game.
Keep running.
They're going to be loaded up for it probably early.
Keep running. And but I'll tell you another thing they had a problem with in the Giants game that I watched. Their linebackers usually tackle very well. Zach Cunningham had a really hard time in this game tackling the Giants. And so hopefully you can get some of that. But overall, it's a good defense. It really is. It's got, with Watt and Clowney. I just think you're going to have to account for Clowney more than you will Watt. And I know I'm going to be cursed for saying that. But they moved Clowney around. Remember how Watt, the last time these two teams played at AT&T, it was Watt moving all over the place. He was standing up. He was on the left end. He was right in. It just appears that they've taken Clowney and he's taken over that role, and they've kind of let J.J. Watt stay on that left side of your offensive right. But I just could see them, with the struggles that Lyle Collins has had too, maybe giving some rushes over there and saying, okay, we're going to let you rush against Lyle Collins and see if you can break him down.
Because watching it back, I did see primarily, at least early in the game, and I haven't watched all of the Houston Indy game, but Watt on that left side.
Yeah.
He would move inside at times too,
right?
And Clowney would take over. He'd switch sides as well. So Collins is probably going to see both of them.
Yeah, that's.
So how did Luck pass for 464 yards?
He hit some really big where they attacked this Texan defense was in the middle of the field. They had a bunch of big time hit crossing routes. Yep. That worked. They actually had several drops. They had 4 or 5 drops on slants that might have gone well. They had a crossing route underneath that would have gone much similar to what happened in the Carolina game. Would have been a big play that ended up being a drop. So, yeah, I mean, the thing you just have to worry about again is the protection. I mean, that to me is going to be the real key in this one.
They sacked him 4 times, right?
Yeah.
Now they hit him
a bunch.
Okay, but now stop me.
4 hits by Clowney alone.
Okay, and I'm not an expert on the Colts.
Yeah.
And Hines.
Yeah, he's the
Naheem Hines.
rookie out of NC State.
NC State.
Yeah. Good player.
He is a good player. He's like a running back.
He's a running back.
He's a guy that would have fit here pretty well.
Yeah.
He caught 9 passes.
Yeah.
Okay, C. Rogers.
He is a wide receiver, number 14. Yeah.
Should I know him?
Well, no, they're making plays. That's what I'm saying, Mickey.
Z. Pascal.
Their cornerbacks
R. Grant. The only guy I got to get down to T.Y. Hilton.
Yeah.
He had 4 catches, but
he got banged
115.
He got hurt in the game.
But he had 42. One of them was a 42-yarder.
Down the middle of the field. He got hurt on the play.
So these aren't like household names that ripped him for 464 yards.
You're saying you're not impressed.
Well, I'm just asking.
The personnel is good, Mick.
Happen?
The personnel is good.
Then how did this happen?
It's the NFL.
Can I ask you a question?
That's Mickey? All. I want to know.
Your angle is that they suck. Is that your angle?
I didn't say they suck.
I'm just saying because I'm trying to find out.
They gave up 27 points to the Giants.
I think that we're trying to figure out here. I think we've said this. Their pass rush is good. They play run defense on first down. And they're struggling in the secondary. We just talked about the corners aren't very good. We talked about the safeties not very good.
We're not saying it can't be done.
We're not saying it can't be done. But you're also a team that's offensively challenged as well.
Let's
not act like we're the Rams or the Colts or anybody else.
Or the Colts.
We haven't thrown for 400 yards in 2 games.
What have the Colts done in 4 games?
I'm just telling you, though.
I don't know their stats off the top of my head.
Yeah,
I know. But they're 1-3.
The Texans?
Yeah.
Feel free to pick them on Friday, Mick. That's fine.
All right. I'm going to pick them.
Pick Dallas.
I'm going to
pick them
the
big.
Texans.
No, don't pick the Texans.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Texans.
Holding you to it.
Yeah, they're at home. State bragging rights on the line.
Boy, you're big on that Super Bowl talk, aren't you?
Golly.
That Bill brought up yesterday.
And then they roll our ass, and Mickey's in here on Monday making excuses for them.
I don't make excuses. I tell you what happens.
Well, you obviously we're trying to tell you that the Texans secondary isn't very good.
All right,
and we're making your point.
Well, if
but
their front is so good that it should help the secondary not give up 464 yards passing.
Don't block the front, Mickey, and see what happens to you in your pass.
I didn't say that,
Mickey. You're talking.
How did that happen,
Mickey? Okay, you're talking. When's the last time the Cowboys threw for 300 yards in a game?
Oh, I'm sure it was 2017.
Well, can you give me some stats? Maybe you're arguing.
30 points in a row against the greatest defense on earth against the Rams. 30 points against the Packers.
That was what? That was how many games ago was that?
You asked me. I said 2017.
I'm just saying, how many games ago is that?
Probably a calendar year.
This team doesn't throw the ball well. Let's not act like it does.
I understand that.
Well, then how are you going to attack
you
the
can throw
Texans?
it well against a team that can't defend the pass.
How are you going to attack the Texans if you don't throw the ball well, Mickey?
Well, they're the 27th ranked pass defense.
How are you going to attack the Texans if you don't throw the ball well? Tell me.
I don't know.
Reasons. Give me some reasons. I hear you.
How good was the defense they played this past week?
Their run defense was terrible.
How was the pass defense?
Their pass defense was good.
They threw for 255. They hadn't done that in ages.
One of the passes was for 33 yards.
They hit some big plays downfield.
Yeah.
They had several explosive plays that helped bring that total, but it all adds together. That's good. Zeke takes a screen pass, 34 yards, 38 yards.
Okay, well,
that's good.
You know what? This guy from Indianapolis, Hines, he was the leading receiver with 9 catches.
He's a running back.
He's a running back.
Yeah.
All right. Load up Zeke.
I kind of lean toward what's Brian saying, though, is they're going to load up to try to stop Zeke early.
Give me a reason. I understand, and I think we're all saying the same thing here. They can't play pass defense. They can rush the passer, but they don't play well in the secondary if you protect. How do you, if you're the Dallas Cowboys, generate passing yards? That's my question.
By running the football on them.
What if they stop that? And then you're in 2nd and 9 early?
And then
through no fault of Zeke, what if they're loading up to stop you early on, like Carolina did?
Well, will they?
I don't know. We'll find out. That's why we watch the games.
All right. I just asked, will they load up after they just?
This team when's the last time this team ever threw for 400 yards? Has this guy ever thrown for 400 yards?
Probably not.
Green Bay playoff game. What was that? I'm sorry. I'm just guessing here.
I'm with you in that they've got to be able to get him in some manageable situations where he can convert third downs.
Right.
But they want to run the ball. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
My question, what I go back to is, this reminds me of Denver last year with Von Miller and what Jason Garrett said about Von Miller. You can block him all game long.
Yeah.
But it takes 1 or 2 plays that can wreck the entire game, and they forced 3 fumbles last week and recovered 1 in the end zone for a touchdown. Watt forced 2.
They didn't really force that one.
Well, okay. They got credit for it. But they can turn the game around. It could be a 1-score game, and 1 big strip sack can make all the difference.
I'm with you on it.
So to me, this all falls the offensive line. Pass protection, giving time allowed to let those routes develop down the field, Ryan, and try to open it up that way.
Right.
From what I can tell, he's never had a 400-yard game.
Dak?
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah, I don't think so. And he's never really been asked to. That's not the way they run offense around here. It is Zeke first, Mick.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's not always going to work. And we've seen it a couple times this season where Carolina game, they said hell or high water, we're stopping Zeke.
Yeah. I wish I had the confidence to say this team could throw for 300 yards against these guys. I wish I could say it, but you're right. This team's not built that way. But they better find a way to be able not to get in those situations where they have to throw the ball.
Right.
Because that's where, again, we've seen do you fully trust, and I think you've said it before, Mickey, I'm not putting words in your mouth there, but I think you've had some concerns about Lyle Collins at right tackle.
Yes. Yes.
And if that's J.J. Watt over there, rushing him and stripping the ball out like he did in the film I saw against the Giants and the Colts, then I think you have to have some concerns over there. This team can't create turnovers, but they surely can turn over the football. Every time they've done that, they've lost. Am I correct?
Yes.
They're -2.
Yeah.
-2.
And it's a loss.
And dead last in takeaways.
Yeah. They might get a couple this week, though. That quarterback will throw you the ball. Better be ready.
And he, by the way, Deshaun Watson, he was sacked 7 times by Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I don't know how much of that might have been some of his doing.
Now you want to talk about an offensive line that can't run block? They're the opposite of what Dallas is when it comes to run blocking. And then they've had problems in protection. If I'm Dallas, I'm hopeful. The thing about Watson is that he's got this escapability, and he's almost like watching Mahomes play. When you escape and you just run to your left and throw it 60 yards, this guy's capable of doing that. And are you going to be disciplined enough to play in the secondary and not have busted coverages? Those are all the things. Fine line. It's just a fine line for this team having to win or lose games.
He's on pace to be sacked 68 times.
How about our guy? What's he on pace for?
50. I figured it out.
Yeah. And we're supposed to have an elite offensive line.
50-something.
That's what this league is
56.
now. You find a way. You got to pressure. Look what they did in the game the other day. Those numbers could have been terrible against Detroit.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy was, 24 of 30 in the game? Jeez. He could have been, he could have been a lot worse if they don't get the pressure and sacks on that guy. You could throw for a ton of yards and still lose these games. Again, we talked about Washington being that last couple of years.
Colts last week, Mick.
Yeah.
Colts.
Yeah.
Colts just abandoned the run. They knew they couldn't run. They said, okay, but they have a quarterback and receivers that are capable of putting up 400 yards. I don't think this crew does. So, if you want to take advantage of them, take advantage of them when you can. But, let's not hang our hat on that.
Yeah.
They only tried to run 17 times.
Yeah,
but
because
they
they
were
got
behind 28-10.
It turned into it.
So
turned
was
into
that
it?
Did they stop the run, or they just abandoned it and say we got to catch up? It's second half, and it's 28.
Early in that game, they could not. The Colts could not run that ball.
Yeah, and you said, look, they're 1-3, so to me the stat isn't misleading that they're good against the run, because it's not like they've had a bunch of leads in their first 4 games of the season.
They only threw the ball. They only ran the ball 3 times the second half.
Yeah, and one of the runs was, I think, was Andrew Luck for first down and 9 yards or 10 yards. Yeah.
Well, I think you're. I think
11.
You know what? To wrap this segment up, I think you guys are both right. You got to be able to establish Zeke, and you got to find a way to get the ball down the field in this game too.
You got to take advantage of it if you can, but are you built to do that? That's the trick.
We'll find out. We'll find out Sunday night. We'll keep breaking this thing down as we go throughout the week. I love the fire between you two. It's the best. Coming up next on
Looking for answers, my friend.
That's
looking
right.
for answers.
Coming up next on Talkin Cowboys, the Cowboys are back to practice today on a Wednesday. We'll get into what to expect and who's practicing, who might not be practicing, next on Talkin Cowboys.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972, so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in 1 lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
A man's Stetson doesn't just protect him from life's elements. It projects an unstoppable and legendary spirit, just like the men wearing silver and navy on the field every Sunday. Since 1865, Stetson hats are American-made with pride right here in Texas. They are still the official crown of all self-respecting Cowboys. And Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find Stetson hats in the Pro Shop or at Stetson.com today.
Dr. Pepper is the one you crave. But how do you explain that craving?
Imagine being shipwrecked on a desert island, alone. Glass-like curls of surf pound the shore with Dr. Pepper-colored waves. Surrounded by desire, but you can't drink it because it's the ocean. Fish live in there. The only thing you want is Dr. Pepper, and you can't have it.
Now that is a Dr. Pepper craving. Dr. Pepper, the one you crave.
Back to Talkin Cowboys.
It's the off season. Whoa, it's not the off season. That's a bad read. Why did I pick that one?
You didn't want the antimicrobial one,
I did not.
right?
Well, let's talk about Tommy John
Let's
underwear.
just talk about it.
You know what? And Mickey's probably one of the best to talk about Tommy John underwear because he is one of those
big
guys.
on it.
He's big on that because Mickey uses it in the press box, on the ski slopes. It doesn't matter,
On the airplane,
on the air, yeah,
on the charter flights,
on the jet, anywhere.
It nestles you in fabrics you can barely feel.
That's right. And God, why'd I grab the off season? That's that's going the wrong way. Tommy John, make sure you go to DallasCowboys.com, check it out. Click on the banner there. You get 20% off of your first order of Tommy John. I actually have my Cowboy Tommy Johns on today. The one, did you guys get that? The new with the Cowboys on the side?
Yes.
You kind of put them on and you're going, all right. hope I'm not in some kind of accident where somebody sees my cowboy Tommy Johns. But maybe I do want them to see me in my cowboy Tommy Johns. Well, whatever it is, check it out. DallasCowboys.com. Go to TommyJohns.com.
/Cowboys.
and you can get you your own Tommy John's t-shirts, socks, underwear. They even got ladies stuff, I understand. Some of our gals are getting involved with that. So make sure you check that all out.
Well done, Brian. Welcome back to Talking
Nikki,
Cowboys.
maybe I should just read the one you gave me instead
I
of trying
know.
to be a microfire. I can say
that's inaccurate.
That's a Texas A&M
How do you say
educated guy speaking right now.
How do you say it?
Huh?
Antimicrobial. Microbial.
Yeah.
Microbial.
Yeah.
Microbial.
Okay.
I can't even say it.
We may just need to burn that liner.
Yep.
Never use it again. All right. Landon in Houston. Enemy territory down I-45. Get us back on the road. What's up, Landon?
Hey, what's going on, man? I appreciate y'all taking my call. Man, the closer it gets to Sunday, the more excited I get.
Good.
Because I'm be at the game.
Super.
Along with my friends who are Dallas fans and Texas fans. So it's going to be exciting.
Hey, what's the buzz down there right now for Texans fans? Is it crazy?
Oh, it's real crazy. They think they're going to win. They really think they're going to have a chance. But no, I know it's going to be a great game. I mean, I really respect the Houston Texans, a lot. They got a great defense. You can't, Sean Watson, great quarterback. But
sure.
But my thing is, I'm more of a defensive type of minded person to play strong safety in college.
Great.
So I pay attention more to the defense than anything. And so my thing is, it's been documented well that Byron Jones has really been excelled at that corner position. And I noticed against Detroit that, they was really throwing that Cheeto the whole game. So is it that they are starting to pay attention to that Byron Jones is really playing well on that side of the field? And, is the league starting to take notice that Byron Jones is starting to become a great corner? And I don't want to say shut down yet, but, it's kind of getting to that point where he's taking like the one half of that field away. So, and then that was my question. And then I also want to give a shout out to Big Joe Looney.
Yeah.
He's really done a great job as
sure has.
taking the place of an all-pro center. And I really like the way he ran down the field on that Zeke touchdown, man. That got me excited. I was jumping up for just to see a big guy running down the field that fast. So, so once you just talk about what I said about Byron Jones, and hang up and listen.
Thank you. Appreciate the call.
Thanks, Landon. Byron Jones, a shutdown corner, Brian.
You know what? This will be a good matchup for him this weekend, though. If with DeAndre Hopkins and this crew. I mean, and I mentioned Kiki Kuti. I mentioned him yesterday. And don't forget Will Fuller. This is another one of those groups. I don't know if they can make the acrobatic catch. I know that DeAndre Hopkins can. He's like playing against Odell Beckham. That's who he is. That this electric receiver, crossing routes, slants, doesn't matter. Throw him the ball short. He could take a short pass and go all the way with it. So they're going to have to be ready for that. I will say this about, and this is no slight to Byron Jones and the way he's played. Most teams in the National Football League are right-handed when they throw the ball. So you look at the way they attack. They usually attack the right side of the field. So that's the quarterbacks are really throughout their lives. They're trained to kind of throw the ball both ways. But if you look at the majority of the passes that are thrown, the right sideline, the right area, right flat, those are areas. So Awuzie is going to get a lot more work. They like Awuzie's toughness. They like Byron Jones' toughness. But you don't have a lot of teams attack the left side of the field unless it's a left-handed quarterback. And I'm trying to think in the league who has a left-handed quarterback. I'm sure I'm missing somebody that's left-handed. That's do we have a left-handed
Kellen Moore?
Do we have a left-handed starter? Yeah. I didn't say a left-handed coach. I said a left-handed quarterback.
He's a quarterback. He is.
Yes,
Not an active
a
quarterback.
coach in the league. He probably uses the clicker in his left hand to watch tape.
There it is.
But yeah, I think that to me that Byron is, he's up to it. They've thrown to him a couple of different times. But I'm sure I'm missing a left-handed quarterback.
I've got one on the tip of my tongue, man. I can't.
Do you really?
Yeah. I can't remember who it is.
Anyway, but it just shows you, the majority of the teams in this league are right-handed, and they focus on the right side of the field because of their quarterback.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nothing against Byron. But
Yeah.
because he's when they've thrown his direction, he's been up to the task. He just hasn't faced as many passes as say with what Cheeto has, and that's no slam on Cheeto because I felt like Cheeto, as far as all the things that went his direction and kind of went badly for him, I thought he played a pretty good game. He led the team in tackles, I want to say, or was near the top of the team in tackles. and a lot of it was because he was having to make plays. But those guys made some incredible catches on him. So, tip my hat to the Lions for the plays, and he's going to have his hands full again this weekend, as is Byron Jones and these safeties.
That's the first time that's happened to Cheeto also, by the way. So it's not like they just, for 4 games, everybody's been throwing at him.
Right.
It just happened that the way – I mean, he threw some incredible passes.
No question.
And those guys made some great catches. It wasn't like he was beat. Now, to me, the only mistake he made was on the cover 3 on the final touchdown.
Yeah.
He didn't stay where he was supposed to.
Right.
Got caught cheating, looking inside at the slot receiver. But he's played awfully well. So
you mentioned Kiki Kuti for the Texans.
Yeah.
They seem to move him all over the place too.
They
And
do.
He was highly effective. 11 catches against Indianapolis last week.
Had 100 yards. They had a couple of receivers. Again, I believe they had 260-something yards with 2 receivers.
Is he a rookie?
Playing there. Yes, he's from Texas Tech.
They'll
I didn't give him enough credit on the draft show. Dane Brugler was really excited about him, as was Kevin Turner, when we were all doing our drafts coverage. And KT had him actually in the 3rd round, and we were all trying to push him down in the bottom of the board. He looks like a fine slot player. He had a drop in the game the other day that would have been a big player. He'd had better numbers than that, but this guy's very capable. You got to be able to run with him all day.
They put him in the backfield too on occasion. Faked a jet sweep in the game last week. So
Tavon Austin.
Maybe he's kind of their Tavon Austin, a guy that can move around, do some different things.
No doubt.
Yeah.
I wish Tavon Austin would have caught that ball the other day because
it was there.
I thought it was there. Yeah, I really did. And I didn't call it a tough chance because we've seen him make plays like that down the field in practice and in Oxnard and stuff and haul it in. Everybody's like, oh, he should have extended his hands, but
if he was 6'3", he would have caught it.
If Bryce Butler was there, he would have caught it.
No, because it came down. He had to catch it low.
Yeah.
And the guy was able to come in with his hand and
trying to interfere with him.
And he basically scissored his arms.
Yeah.
They don't call interference anymore in this league, I don't think.
Yeah, not really.
There's
nothing called with extreme consistency.
There was a couple in that game I thought were questionable.
You don't watch many Big 12 games, do you?
Oh, I watch enough SEC games.
Yeah,
to
they'll let you play in the SEC, but in the Big 12, they will let you just kill receivers down the field. They don't care. They don't care. But they score a lot of points though too.
All right, I mentioned practice, but we started talking receivers, and I just thought let's just get this out of the way. All right, the Dez Bryant, if you want to call it news, that popped. The Dez Bryant tweet that popped up yesterday.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on that? He tweeted that responding to a fan's question about where he wants to end up as a free agent. Let me pull it up real quick. He said, I'd rather it be the Dallas Cowboys. If not, I'll be ready to play somewhere else. And, man, that caught wildfire.
Yeah.
It's Twitter.
I knew you were going to say that.
You just tried to set me up.
Yeah, I wanted to get
Mickey take a shot at Twitter.
Yeah, I want to get a Mickey's minute out of this thing. We haven't done that in a while.
Anything could be said on Twitter, right? You don't even have to mean it.
Well, he said it though.
Yeah.
Now
I understand.
I didn't take much of it because look, Dez Bryant was released by the Dallas Cowboys. It was not his decision to leave. I think he's in his heart. He's probably a Dallas Cowboy for life. I think he loved wearing the star probably more than anybody I can remember covering. So it's not a shock to me that he'd want to come back.
Is this the first time, though, that he's kind of called out the team in a way of, I'd like to play, like he's kind of hinting that he knows something that we don't know?
You could take it that way.
Or is Dez grandstanding here, Mickey?
Well, my question is, why did they do it in the first place?
Yeah.
And are they so desperate that they'll forgive themselves for the reason they did it in the first place because they didn't have to do it?
In my opinion,
and it wasn't financial either.
Yeah. If you ask me my opinion, he would be the best receiver on this team.
Well, he was the best receiver on the team last year.
If he came back.
He would certainly be the most accomplished.
If he came back.
Yeah, he was the best last year.
Okay, so
and it was a bad year for him.
Yeah, if this team and rightfully so, these guys are doing the best they can. They're trying. Alan Hearns and these guys. I mean, they're trying. They've got some things they got to work on. But for the most part, But he if you brought him back, he would be the best. And I hope I'm not speaking. I'm speaking on me. I'm not speaking for you guys. I think he would be the best receiver on this team, even with all the things that are kind of swirling about. Even not practicing or playing or being in camp and all that stuff. I still think he'd be the best receiver on this team.
He would.
Until he drops one.
Well, this
And
team,
then
this team has already had drops.
No, I'm saying everybody will be hollering. I don't disagree with you.
Yeah.
He was the best receiver last year.
I didn't want to put anybody on the spot, but I'll say that. I'll say that I think that he would be, if he came in and was in shape, he would be the best receiver on this team.
All right.
I would give that to Cole Beasley, maybe, but that's a different type of receiver. Dez gives you something consistently on the outside, at least somebody maybe to account for. So I hear you there. I don't see it. I think they've gone in a certain direction.
Sure.
And they probably want to see it through, and they made that decision, and that maybe they want front office too. You want to say, okay, we've gone this route, and we want it to give it time and see it bear out. And Mickey's been talking about, look, we got to see this through. We got to give some time for these receivers.
He's not wrong.
And everybody's trying to read into what Steven said. And he has been consistent about that. We're not going to rule out anything. And you shouldn't. And you shouldn't.
Right.
You shouldn't. I mean, that's just good business.
If he says absolutely no, then that gives Dez kind of a black mark to try to find a job.
Right.
And they would like him to find a job.
Absolutely.
But we're 5 weeks into the season.
Yeah.
Does he want to play football?
It's something that you've been really consistent about saying, Mickey, and I think it's worth talking about. Does he want to play football? I think, I've heard you say that. I've been with you on all these shows, and I was with you last night, and I think you said the same thing. And it's worth talking about.
Does 5 weeks
does he
into
really
the
want?
season?
Yeah. Does he really? Why is he now having to get in shape? Why was he not in shape and earlier? And that's the thing he's not wrong.
And does he
ask?
Yeah. And does he? I'll take it another step. Does he want to play football somewhere besides Dallas?
Yeah.
Because I just said, and I'm not in his head. I don't know. I haven't talked to Dez, but I just said I think he has been more proud of wearing that star on his helmet than anybody I can recall.
Question.
I mean,
no question.
Texas guy.
No question.
So
no
yeah,
question.
I mean it's fair to bring it up, but maybe he's also trying to look for the right situation. Elsewhere besides here. And
see, I don't think Dez has put aside the fact that he probably is not going to be a Dallas Cowboy anymore. I don't know if, and this is to Mickey's point, I don't know if he wants to go be a Cleveland Brown or a New Orleans Saint or a Chicago Bear. I don't know, or Green Bay Packer.
Turned down an offer reportedly from the Ravens in the offseason.
I don't know if he necessarily, and maybe instead of saying, does he want to play football, does he want to play football for another team?
Yeah, does he want to move to New Jersey and play with the Jets?
Yeah. See, trust me, I'd love to see Dez Bryant back here, and I think he could help. I really do. I think he could give them a little energy, on the offense, a little jump over there. I mean, is it any worse than what's been going on? And I don't mean worse. I just don't see the overall productivity. So your biggest play in the game the other day was made by a running back down the field. That was your biggest play. So I don't know necessarily. I mean, I think these receivers are good. And the thing is, I think Gallup has a chance to be really good. But right now, he's not. So where are you? Cole Beasley, I think, is playing as well as he can play
in his role.
And he's
not an outside receiver consistently.
Yeah.
It's not his.
I mean,
game.
they're trying. Alan Hearns. I thought Alan Hearns played the best he's played the other day. Thompson was a non-factor. See, to me, if you're going to tell me you're going to go out and you're willing to get and get the guy off the street, Butler, really? Okay. Well, why wouldn't you go get the other guy off the street? I have more confidence in Bryant than I do Butler.
Well, how much of the decision to let Dez go was for whatever reason, and they seemed to get along fine off of the field, but on the field, he and Dak, they just didn't have a connection.
You're right. And but you got to remember this about Dez, that he left his, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, he left his friendship, Dez, with Tony Romo to support Dak Prescott in that 2016 season. He basically said, okay, for the good of the locker room or for the good of this team, we need to play with Dak Prescott, even though Tony Romo had made him millions of dollars throwing him the football. But he put that aside and said, hey, we got to go with this guy. Maybe, he in the locker room, that's important. He could have come out and said, this is stupid. This is foolish. We need to go back to Tony here, but he didn't. So my thoughts are, though, that, that there's a lot of things that happen. There's a lot of things that happen. But Dak Prescott should also remember that at that point, Dez Bryant had his back. When he was a young guy and he really didn't have, people were kind of looking at him like, can he do this? Dez Bryant's one of those guys that said, we got to ride with this. We got to go.
Yeah.
So, if Dak has problems, I understand. I'm not going to act like I'm Dak Prescott.
I'm not saying Dak doesn't want him back. I'm just saying their chemistry on the field, they never seem to click.
Yeah.
Especially last year for whatever reason.
Caught 70 passes.
Last year?
69, sorry.
Yeah.
He was targeted, 100?
Yeah.
There were more plays to be made that weren't made.
See, I think.
So is that why they let him go?
Well, but let's also remember, though, how many games did Dez play when they didn't have the running game? They didn't have the 6-game suspension. There's
no question that with Zeke being the focal point, you can't just look at a receiver's numbers on this team and say, oh, that's a bad year.
Yeah.
There's no question.
Who was going to beat him last year when Zeke was gone? Who was going to beat you if you were the defensive coordinator?
Yeah.
It was Dez.
See,
make sure he doesn't.
Well, they tried to take Cole Beasley away too.
They did.
They focused on him maybe more than Dez at times.
No question.
Well, the linebacker wasn't going to cover Dez.
There's no question. To me, this is where if there were, and again, Twitter, Ed Werder reaching out to people in the organization, people saying no, that's not going to happen. Okay, right. I don't know who Ed Werder talks to, but he is respected.
He did tweet that last night.
Yeah. So I'm just saying. We can. Some of us, we live here. We'll figure things out. But, I think right now it's Dez wanting to play for the Cowboys. The Cowboys are saying, well, we'll see. We'll see as we get down the road.
But it goes back to why did they let him go in the first place?
Why? Why do you think?
Because that reason's still got to be there.
Well, why do you think?
I never got a good answer on that.
Culture change? Is that
maybe
more of it than
maybe?
I was told by 2 or 3 different people that Jason Garrett was the last guy that was in on this. Last guy that brought into the deal. That he was the one that was very adamant about, are we doing the right thing? And I've busted Jason Garrett hard. And there's things I think he does a great job with personnel. I questioned some of his coaching stuff, but he was the last guy I was told from good sources that he was the last one in.
And look,
and if that's
the case, then whatever the reason was, it's still there.
It's still there. And whether that's Linehan, Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, Will McClay, Sanjay Lyle, I don't know. I don't know who, but there were people that and they like to tell us that they like to make group decisions. So if say what you want. But I will give the coach credit. He was like, are we really doing the right thing here?
Mm-hmm.
And I was told that from a couple different people I really trust. So take that with whatever you think.
All right. Let's take our final break. When we come back.
That's a way to get a segment out of the way.
That's a long segment too, by the way. We only got a few minutes left.
Oh, no.
888-855-2297 is the number if you want to join the conversation. And let's hit up that potential practice report next when we come back.
If you're like me and you love... if you have a thing, then cutting the cord is scary. But then I found out I could switch to DirecTV Now and still get the live sports I love. No satellite needed, no bulky hardware, no annual contract, just...
Get the live sports you love. Try DirecTV Now for $10 a month for 3 months. Visit DirecTVNow.com. DirecTV Now. More for your thing. That's our thing. Use code REALDEAL. Limited time. Price for a little package. After 3 months, renews monthly at full price. Currently minimum $40 unless canceled. Prices may change. New subscribers only. Cancel anytime. Content varies by package and may be limited. Restrictions apply.
While a player can look good on paper, it's when he's out on the field that you really find out what he's made of. That's why the Cowboys rely on more than stats and scouting reports when building their team. When picking a tractor, it's why you should rely on more than specs and features as well. You got to take it out and put it to the test. The Cowboys did when they named John Deere their official tractor. To experience one for yourself, visit your local Texas John Deere dealer or go to myjohndeeredealer.com/football.
It can be hard to find the right resource for learning about important financial matters. You search how to build savings, you end up reading about the one weird ingredient from supermarkets that can make you taller. That's why Bank of America built BetterMoneyHabits.com, a safe little corner of the internet for answering your financial questions. Full of simple videos and tips, Better Money Habits can show you how to make the most of your money without resorting to random searches that always seem to lead to unbelievable photos of childhood stars grown up. To learn more, visit BetterMoneyHabits.com.
Essilor has been helping Cowboys fans see better since 1972 so they don't miss a moment on the field. Get glasses with Essilor's best vision, clarity, and protection with the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package. 3 innovative technologies in one lens. For a limited time, you can double your lenses for free when you purchase the Essilor Ultimate Lens Package and get a second pair of frames. Find a participating eye care professional and details by visiting EssilorUSA.com. That's EssilorUSA.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Back to Talkin' Cowboys.
Want to use what we use? Jack Black is the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys. Get your Jack Black Playmaker. It says 4 JB faves. I had 5 this morning, plus a full-size LP
lip balm.
Yeah.
You get that
Not
free.
Lattiser.
Yeah, you get that
and
free.
all that for $10. You only get 4. I use 5 today. And you get free shipping at getjackblack.com. That's how you can get these and use the Cowboys code for that Playmaker, Cowboys.
They make a lot of great product, but Mickey's right about the beard lube. That stuff, it saves your razor. It makes your face feel better. And I mean, seriously, I don't shave as much as you guys. You two look like friggin', I don't know. I
shave
like
every day.
Italian.
Don't you shave every day?
No, not every day. No, I'm bald and I don't shave every day. but see, the thing about when I do shave, that Jack Black beard lube stuff is incredible.
Especially
I don't often shave, but when I do,
Don't lie.
I use beard lube.
You shave twice a day.
Once a day.
Yeah.
And if I don't, then it's got the
you
the
and
5
Mickey,
o'clock shadow.
Mickey looks like he's some
See, if I
detective
get
in the
up-
1950s.
If I get up,
Bogey?
If I get up early and shave
big
like
sleep.
at 6:30, by the time I do TV at 4:30, it's time to shave
See,
again.
he's on TV a lot. That's why you have to shave.
Yeah.
I wouldn't shave if I had to be on TV.
I
would shave. If
I
I
am shaving daily because of TV. Derek Eagleton told me start shaving. You look ridiculous when you wear too much facial hair. Not ridiculous, but
But
anyway.
the lube's good.
The beard lube is good.
All right.
The facial wash is good.
I'm in. Butter.
Moisturizer afterwards.
It's butter.
Yeah,
You got it.
Get that butter face.
Look how young we look.
All right.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah. Practice
I'm
today,
so done
Mick.
right now.
Yes, practice.
Yeah.
What do you expect to see out there today? What could we see? We don't have a report yet, but they've got some guys who are banged up. Terrence Williams wasn't with the team over the weekend, so
The head coach said he'd be back on Tuesday.
he was back in the building yesterday.
Okay.
Yes.
So he should be back at practice. I think that Malik Collins will be limited. I think he'll do something. I don't know if it'll be enough. See if he's got that body wrap off his knee. It's pretty extensive, although he was moving well.
Yeah. He's on the cords last week.
You said
which is a
Woods
good sign.
had his
Human
calf.
log. Yeah. Human log's got the
He
calf.
had the calf wrapped up. Is that what you said?
The human log did, yes. Now, what
Okay.
that means for his practice status, I don't know. Jason Garrett was hopeful.
I think you'll see David Irving out there doing something.
You got your under tackle there.
By the way, I did the math. This will be, if they go in pads today, this will be his first practice in pads in 308 days.
I mean,
That's almost a year, folks.
you have to go
That's
back-
a long time.
You have to go back to November, right?
2 days before Thanksgiving, because he played the Thanksgiving game, got the concussion, didn't play the rest of the season.
Yeah.
And he didn't do any
And he
pad
didn't
stuff,
play
obviously.
So he
offseason.
missed 8 games. Only played 8.
Can I make an observation on David Irving?
Yes.
I'm going to try and read into what the head coach said about him. And the head coach called him a freak of nature, which made me believe that he's going to play this weekend.
I'm thinking.
I mean, just by the way, and I know they have some issues at the nose tackle more than they do the under tackle.
Well, he can play. Let him play
either
the
one.
Nose if they need him.
But the way the head coach called him he kind of looked away and said, he's a freak of nature. That led me to believe that, man, he's going to try and make this, not make. He is going to give this guy every opportunity to play this week.
15 snaps,
That's what I said.
And as
10
I
to
said,
15.
and I think I said it last night, if he does nothing else on nickel downs but stand up at 6'7" and raise his arms above his head, that's pressure on the quarterback because you've just taken away a passing lane.
Yeah, well, let him take advantage of Zach Fulton that plays guard for the Texans because he's a big, lumbery guy, and that quickness, the length, the reach, all that stuff.
See, what you don't want is get him hurt.
Yeah.
Like he pulls a hamstring.
Right.
And then he's going to miss 3 more games. Yeah. And now it's 7.
What happened to him at the end of the season was the concussion, right?
He got a concussion. Yeah.
So he missed 8 games.
Jeez.
Yeah, so
four games of suspension last year.
And this is his last year of his contract too, right?
The concussion was Thanksgiving?
Yes.
So he probably didn't even hardly practice that week.
Well, I looked it up. He practiced the last practice the Tuesday before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and it was probably in shells.
Probably.
So he probably hadn't had pads on unless he's been running around L.A. with pads on when he was working out.
Knowing him, he might.
No,
yeah, with the spikes on him. Yeah, he might be like
just running down Sunset,
just hanging out. You know, he's got
do like
some club.
When Michael Irvin was rehabbing his ACL, and he'd be running out at Valley Ranch
some
with
biker
his pads
bar.
on.
You know?
Just wearing them, trying them out.
Got the badge, like he's in the black hole. That kind of that look.
Legion of Doom.
Yeah, why
animal.
not? Yeah,
Be like Woody going into the hospital in Baltimore with his pads on.
Cleats. That's a great story.
Cleats.
Yeah, he has cleats on. Yeah.
What was that story behind?
His forearm. Broke his forearm in the game.
He hurt his forearm, and they're in the new stadium in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And they claim that the X-ray room wasn't functioning properly. Yeah. So Britt Brown walked him across the street in full uniform to the hospital.
Yeah.
Went to the emergency room. I need an X-ray.
Wow.
Yeah, no time to check in here.
yeah.
Don't worry about
You know who he is. You saw him on TV 5 minutes ago.
Insurance. Yeah,
exactly.
I don't know what the group number is, but I need an X-ray.
I don't have time to fill out the forms. Just give me the X-ray.
They X-rayed it. It was fractured, and Woody's response was, "Can you tape it up and I'll go play?"
Yeah.
That sounds like Woody.
That's Woody.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
All right. Well, we'll
They've got more questions inside at defensive tackle and how they're going to play the rotation. I'm interested, though, once they do get the rotation, when the Human Log and Collins and those guys are all back, what does that do for Crawford? And what does that do to Taco? Mm-hmm. Does that mean now? And what does that do for
the
Randy Gregory?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just talking about if you move Crawford back to defensive end.
Gosh, I don't know if I want to do that.
We talked about that in the mailbag this morning.
Then what are you going to do with David Irvin? Is he going to be a 15, 20 play player a game?
He might need a couple weeks of that.
I could see Ross being a guy that's out. By the way, maybe with all these guys, if they do get them all coming back, if they need that spot for David Irvin, maybe it is going to be one of those guys.
And somebody does need to be cut by Saturday if he's going to play.
I focused in on the wide receivers. Maybe we need to focus in on those defensive tackles.
Yeah.
I mean,
Reed or Ross.
He did play a little one technique initially before he got to the 3.
Right. But I wonder if that's going to be the case. And when you get everybody back healthy, is that going to affect Taco's ability to start at right end? And what does that do to Randy Gregory?
You got a glut there on the outside all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Oh, boy, what a problem to have.
It's a good problem to have, absolutely.
And they have a couple injuries, too. Will Fuller dealing with a hamstring.
Yeah. That'd be nice if he didn't play.
Happened in the game last week.
Yeah.
Lamar
Miller, the running back.
All they'll say is he's banged up.
He's banged up because they don't block for him. He gets hit a lot.
They're doing hockey on him. It's just
upper body injury.
Not even that. It's just banged up. No details.
Yeah.
And then their guard, Calamente.
Yes, from the Saints.
He has been bothered by a knee. He missed the previous game, and then he came out and came back in against the Colts. So he's dealing with a knee problem. So they've got a couple things that they're got to check out.
All right, let's grab one more phone call before we get out of here. Phil in Louisiana.
Hey, guys.
Take us home. What's up?
All right, take you home. Okay, got a good one for you to finish this hour out.
Phil.
We're losing you. Hang on, Phil. Walk about 4 feet to your left.
Walk outside, Phil.
Okay.
If
There you go, Phil.
We got you.
Where are you at? What city? Where are you at?
Manufactured house I'm in here.
Okay, there you go.
Manufactured.
Brian, I was reading some excerpts from Gary Myers' new book, and it just reminded me of a couple of things. first thing it reminded me of is how much I miss Randy Galloway's writing.
Sure.
And secondly, it reminded me of how I'm not saying the average fan because wouldn't want to go that far, but it reminded me how much I have to temper my enthusiasm about the long-term success of the franchise with Jerry and the way he has a litmus test for coaches. It was almost deflating to the point. I just wondered if any of you guys felt like playing Randy Galloway right now and tell me how would get Randy Galloway say. I remember that article. He said, "Well, they're going to fire the general manager." Whoops, Jerry's not going to fire himself. That was one of my favorite Randy Galloway stories.
Yeah. Randy was great. I did radio. Randy, matter of fact, brought me into the media side. Him and John Lund, who does work out in San Francisco in the Bay Area now. And Randy would always tell me, he would say, "Broadus, watch what I'm going to do here. I'm going to fire Tony Romo. I'm going to trade Dez Bryant." And he would do that. He would say that just to get people riled up on the line.
Mm-hmm.
When Randy taught me, he said, you get 50% of the people that hate you, 50% of the people that love you. He goes, "You're doing a pretty good job." So that's what you always kind of strive for there. But yeah, I just think I'm not a huge Gary Myers fan, so I probably won't read his book. But anyway, I
got it if you want it.
No, I don't want to read Gary Myers. I'm not a big Gary Myers fan. But anyway, I just feel like though that the ownership here, I mean, if that's where we're going, that he is the general manager. A long time ago, Al Davis told him, he says, "You don't need a general manager. You can run this team yourself." As an owner, you have that right. And, that's the direction he's taken, for the good, for the bad. I think he's had his proud moments where he won the Executive of the Year, and he had his bad moments where we weren't picking players very well in the early 2000s, and he had to make a decision on Bill Parcells.
When did he win Executive of the Year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. He was executive.
2 years ago.
He was Executive of the Year.
Was that when the head coach was the head coach of the year?
Head coach of the year too. And so I asked Jerry that question too. I go, "Is prouder than winning a Super Bowl?" And he said, "Damn close." Take what you want, the good, the bad. This guy does pour his heart and soul and in his pocketbook into this football team. Has it always been successful? No, it hasn't. Has it? But it has it. It's not from trying. This guy does try, and we'll see how it all plays out. Here coming up.
Was that the year without Romo?
It was.
And they both won those awards?
Yeah.
Yes.
Every time I've tried to fire Garrett, he's won 12 games in 13 games. So
Will McClay should have won some awards that year.
Yeah, he should have.
That draft was pretty stellar.
He should
have. They
have.
had a draft award, he would have won it that year.
That's right. All right, we're out of time. I missed my live read. Cowboys taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars October 14th on Sunday. Tickets on sale now at DallasCowboys.com. But we got another game before that. Cowboys and Texans started breaking it down today.
Pretty good defense, huh?
Really good
Jaguars.
defense. Yeah, and a good defense on the Texans.
I'll be interested to say about that. Yeah, Mickey, about the Jaguars.
Governor's Cup on the line.
Cowboys, Texans. We'll break it down Thursday and Friday leading into Sunday night. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!